Well, WGN Investigates has learned Tiffany Henyard is not done with politics just yet. The former South Suburban politician has moved to Georgia and appears to be running for office there. The local board of elections says Tiffany A. Henyard has qualified to run for a district commissioner's job in Fulton County. Henyard did not respond to a request for comment, though. The county includes Atlanta and surrounding suburbs. The longtime Democrat is running as a Republican, will not face any opponents in the primary. The district is heavily Democratic, and 4 candidates are vying for that nomination.
This is somebody who hasn't had much of a chance to establish roots, and she's going to be running against people who have far deeper roots in the community. And so that might actually end up being what is her undoing. It may not be because of her scandalous past, but it may be she hasn't lived long enough in this district.
And there are also questions about whether Henyard has lived in Georgia long enough to hold office. Also today, Henyard lost a $10,000 judgment in a rent dispute with her former landlord back in Dolton.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about a very, very, very disturbing story. A story that I kind of feared, right? The last time I talked about the former super ghetto mayor, Tiffany Henyard, okay? Everybody remembers her, the former mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and the former supervisor of the Thornton Township. The woman that was accused of basically stealing tax money from her own constituents, running the township, running the town of Dolton into the ground as mayor, as supervisor, a complete and total disgrace, okay? This woman apparently is now running for office in Georgia, a place that she just moved to, right, in Fulton County, as a MAGA Republican. Now, this is something that has been in the making for a little bit now, right? And I kind of think I understand what's going on here, as Tiffany Henyard allegedly is still under FBI investigation. We haven't really heard much about how the investigation is going. I think this woman should have been in jail a long time ago, but there's been some signs that Tiffany Henyard was going to make this switch, right? That she was going to jump ship from being a Democrat to becoming a Republican. And I want to go ahead and roll some clips here before we get into this news story that kind of set off some clues about Tiffany Henyard and the political transformation that she's trying to make in order to save herself in her career. Take a look.
Did win, and congratulations again. This is me saying it publicly to our new president of the United States. Just like Trump, I'm gonna come in on a landslide on both seats. Know that. Remember this moment when I landslide and come in for the victory, like I always do.
I'm sad. I want to change gears a little bit. Yeah. There's also been a growing conversation that, back to the Democratic Party we're talking about, that Black Republicans are more professionally and financially successful than Democrats, than Black Democrats. What's your thoughts? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I can see that. I think they got more structured, more strategic, and I think they move a little different because they listen.
What do you mean when you say they listen?
We over talk. Nobody can educate you because you think you know everything, and that's the problem that people have, and that's why we miss the message. And I think that's what's wrong with America now. We all want to be heard, but no one's pausing to listen. I think I'll say Trump just gave everybody $2,000.
Well, did the $2,000 pass?
Yeah, I heard he did.
I didn't hear too much about it.
But I haven't seen nothing yet to say, hey, look what he just did. But that's what everyone's stating. Right. But again, that's what I mean about research. But he got a lot of great ideas, but sometimes people got to just pause on the noise. Y'all distracting us with all this other nonsense that really don't matter to the people. What we care about is what are you doing for the people.
Right.
But you're distracting us with this file, that file, this case. Okay, what we gonna do? Come on, all this time. Like, please stop. But if they do though, it's a distraction. Until we wake up and see that it's a distraction to keep us from asking for important things like you just stated.
Right.
When are we gonna do that?
I love it. Well said. Yeah. I like you, Tiffany.
Yeah,
Miss Tiffany. That's certainly landed during a trying time in the world. There's been a lot of conversation lately about members of the Black community leaving the Democratic Party.
Ooh.
Yes, that's been the topic of the day on social media, like in the podcast world. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh yes, they talking, honey.
They are talking. They are talking. What's your thoughts about that?
I'm really, really happy that people are entertaining the conversation. I really want people to educate themselves so they understand who does what, how it works, and what's the process.
Right.
Because everybody's pointing the finger at they did it, left, right, okay, whatever.
Right.
But no one's coming with facts. People just talking because they don't like someone. I want people this time around to actually go do your research. Then you can speak with facts and not fictional.
Well, one thing that I've heard from a lot of people is that a lot of people are saying that people keep voting for Democrats or keep voting Democrat, but the Democrats aren't doing anything for the black community.
That's true.
So
I lived it. That's true.
You lived it. You mean
I lived it because I am a Democrat. I ran as a Democrat. And if you go check my voting record, that's what I always pull, a Democrat ballot. And Democrats really need some help. And I'm here to say it proudly that a lot of them don't belong in the seats that they're in. Residents have to really research them and stop listening because they say they're a Democrat don't mean they for you. They're normally for themselves. You have to really pay attention and change the narrative that we see right now.
right?
Because right now, Republicans are doing a good job to me. This is my opinion.
No, of course.
Everybody got their own opinion.
Everyone has their own opinion.
What, when, where. I'm only speaking because I lived it by me being a Democrat, and my very own is the ones that was attacking me.
Right.
And they're Democrats.
Right.
So make it make sense. And then once they got the seat, they did nothing for the people. So
And you mean to see back home where you're
back
from?
home in Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, in Illinois, yes.
So what's your thoughts right now on Donald Trump's and the way his campaign is going for the United States?
Well, I think that, again, people should educate themselves before judging, because a lot of time people always judge a book by its cover. You got to open it up and read.
Right.
If you read, you will find out other truths that is not being broadcast by the fake news.
Yeah, so I think I kind of see the play here from the Ghetto Superman, right? It's all starting to make sense, right, in regards to why she's doing what she's doing. But I want to go and play this clip from WGN Investigates about Tiffany Henyard running for office again.
Politician Tiffany Henyard is hoping for a comeback. I'm WGN TV investigative reporter Ben Bradley. Henyard is attempting to resuscitate her political career 700 miles away in Atlanta, where she has apparently secured a spot on the ballot for district commissioner on the Fulton County board. For those of you who don't remember the long, strange saga of Tiffany Henyard's reign in the South suburbs, here's a quick refresher. She flew first class, wined and dined on the taxpayer dime. She had a questionable cancer charity. Corruption claims dogged her to the point the FBI served subpoenas. While she hasn't been charged with wrongdoing, she did not take it particularly well whenever anyone would question her.
Y'all are black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dolton voters drummed her out of office early last year. 88% voted against her. She was a Democrat back then, and now she's running as a Republican.
That's crazy. That's crazy. She must have saw, Fannie Willis? Them Negroes out in Atlanta, they voted for Fannie Willis. They put her back in office, right? I need to run. I got a chance out there, right? That has to be the logic here. That has to be the logic.
And because there's no competition in the primary, that clears the way for her to be on the general election ballot in November. We rang up a political science professor from Emory University in Atlanta. She said Henyard's bid is a long shot.
This is somebody who hasn't had much of a chance to establish roots, and she's going to be running against people who have far deeper roots in the community. And so that might actually end up being what is her undoing. It may not be because of her scandalous past, but it may be she hasn't lived long enough in this district.
Georgia election records show that Henyard registered to vote down there on February 27th, just 2 days after voters gave her the boot in Dolton. That means even if she's elected in Georgia, she may not meet the year residency requirement. Henyard did not respond to my request for comment, but that may be because she knew we were also calling about this. A judgment entered today by a Cook County court. A judge ordered Henyard and her boyfriend to pay their old landlord in Dolton $10,000. She's accused of stiffing the landlord on rent and causing property damage before they left town. For more of our reporting, go to
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. Here's what I think is happening, right? I think that the ghetto mayor here is trying to pivot towards being a MAGA pro-Trump Republican because she knows that she's facing FBI investigation. I don't know where that investigation is at, but it did start under the Biden administration when he was in office. It expanded in 2025 when Trump got into office. It's still happening, right? There's been no news to indicate that the probe has been closed, right? They're still investigating. Maybe this is just not very high up on the list of investigations right now. I don't know, okay? Maybe, just maybe, she's trying to save herself, right? Maybe she's doing this as a way to incentivize the Trump administration to drop the probe against her, right? By saying, well, hey, Trump is doing a great job, right? Remember, when Trump got elected, she started saying great things about Trump, right? Now, before all that, we really didn't hear that much from Tiffany Henyard when it comes to her opinions on Trump. But after Trump got elected, that kind of changed, right? That changed, okay? Her tune changed. And then she started doing podcasts where she started saying, great things about black Republicans, and she started trashing the Democrat Party. And now all of a sudden, she registered to be a Republican and then went down to Georgia in Fulton County and is now running as a Republican in a seat that she knows she can't win. I think that this is desperation. I think that she's trying to incentivize the Trump administration to stop whatever probe that they're doing into her conduct as mayor of Dolton, as the supervisor of the Thornton Township. I think this is desperation. I think that she believes that she can flatter the administration. She can appear to be on their side, right? Oh, this is a Democrat that was screwed over by her party turned Republican, who's now a Trump supporter, right? She's MAGA, and she's running for office in a deep blue district, right? I think that this is her way of trying to avoid accountability. I really do. And that being said, I personally believe it is more reasons why the FBI and the DOJ need to hurry up, right? Let's hurry up and go ahead and get these charges going, right? Let's go ahead and get this woman thrown in prison. Because this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. We can't have this. I'm going to be the first to say, she is not a MAGA Republican, that this is not genuine, that she's trying to save herself. She's just trying to flatter the administration. She's trying to appeal to the administration in order to save herself. This woman is corrupt. She belongs nowhere near the Republican Party. She belongs nowhere near the MAGA movement. We don't accept her, right? Or at least me personally. I don't accept her, right? I'm saying that no. You can't do this. This is not how it works. You don't get in trouble with the Democrats and then all of a sudden you flip and you become a Republican and you think that everything's all good, right? That you shouldn't be held accountable for your crimes. No. That's not how this works. It's not a good look. Republicans should not embrace her, right? She needs to be distanced. And this is why the FBI, the DOJ, they need to go ahead and finish this investigation, prioritize it, go ahead and charge this woman if they're going to do it. Okay, if she committed crimes, go ahead and get those charges going, get that indictment going, go ahead and get justice going against this woman so that she can be put in jail and that we don't have to hear from her anymore, right? We don't have to talk about her anymore. This woman needs to be as far away from politics as possible, okay? This is not the type of person that we need to be a MAGA Republican or to represent Republicans in any way. We don't need this, right? We can't accept everybody, right? We can't accept everybody. Now, it'd be different if she was actually wrongfully screwed over by Democrats, like, for example, when it comes to Tulsi, right? We've seen Democrats, RFK, others, align with Republicans because they've been screwed over by Democrats. We can accept those people, right? Different circumstances. We can't accept this, right? And it would not look good for the Trump administration to stop the investigation into her or to drop the investigation into her because, all of a sudden she's saying flattering things about Trump. She's praising Trump. She's saying that his policies are good, that Democrats bad. No, we can't do that, right? We can't have that. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. She has to be held accountable. And the fact that she's running for office as a Republican, that means that they need to prioritize holding this woman accountable, because she's now become a liability. She's making us look bad, right? She does not make us look good. So, yeah, that's my take on this. I think that this is desperation. I think she's trying to save herself from this investigation. Who knows? Maybe soon there's going to be an indictment. There's going to be charges that are coming against this woman. Let's hope, right? Let's hope that this is a sign that accountability is coming. So, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.